5 things you should avoid saying during your US visa interview. Now, if you didn't know that there are things you should never be caught unalive saying during an interview, then watch this video before you go for your visa interview. Everything in life has rules, including visa applications. And if you want to successfully pass your interviews without having to spend money to reapply, then you should follow the rules that apply. Today, however, we're not talking about the rules, maybe in another video. Today, we're talking about things you shouldn't be caught saying during these interviews. Hi, and welcome to the channel that brings scholarship and financial opportunities your way while offering tips to ensure you succeed throughout the process. Now, if you find the information shared in this video helpful, do well to hit the like button and subscribe. The information you'll be learning in the next few minutes will double your chances of getting your visa approved. So let's head straight to the questions you will likely asked and how to answer them. Mostly, the first question you'll be asked is, what are you coming to do in the United States? At this point, you're thinking to just state the obvious and say, I got a scholarship and I want to go study. Now, how you answer this question will determine how the visa interview will go. That's why you can find people saying they were only asked one question during the interview and that was it. So how do you answer this question? While telling them that you got a scholarship to study at Boston University and you want to go study is a good answer, the required answer is not that. So what do you say? Tell the interviewer what he does not know about you. Tell him why you chose to study in the university you picked and how the program will help you. So then what am I saying in essence? In essence, just give him a background story of yourself. Give him your background story. Alright? So for example, you can say something like, I decided to study urban planning in the US because I currently work as a surveyor and I have developed interest in spatial planning and I want to upgrade my skills with the best education in this subject, in this field. So you can also say you did some research and you found that Boston University is renowned for this currently, and afterwards you plan to contribute to rural and urban development in your country with the knowledge you have acquired. And you can also go on to say that you also plan to teach as many interested in becoming professionals in this field in your country. Now, why is this the best approach? You've given him a brief summary of yourself, you've given him a background story of yourself, and you've told him or her what you do and what your goals are. After you've explained this, you've told him everything he needs to know about you that's not on the paper or the form that you submitted. The second question you may be asked is, why do you want to study this program? Now, I said the second question you may be asked is, why I said the second question you may be asked is because after you've answered the first question, you might not be asked the second question because you've answered it in the first question already. So if you were asked this question separately, you can answer this question with this. You cannot answer this question with the same. If you're asked this question separately, you cannot answer this question with the same, oh, it'd be my passion and all that talk. No. You say that you surely cannot expect to be approved. Trust me. Everybody says that. So to get this right, you have to share your purpose. The common reason people follow their career with a master's or PhD is for research purposes. They want to learn more. So you should leverage on that. So state problems your program can prepare you to solve in your country or community and in the real world generally. Now the next question, I think that's the third question you're likely to be asked is, who is funding you and why are they funding you? Now, it's true that your relative is sponsoring you, maybe your dad or your brother or your sister, but that is not the right approach to this question. They want to hear a unique reason for your dad or sibling to sponsor you. They want to know why did they have to spend so much money to sponsor you to go ahead and study or to further your studies. Now, you can tell them something like, during the days in my university, I made an impact through a research I did on environmental stuff, and you were awarded for this because this was you were the first ever to achieve that in the Department of Biology, for example. You can also go on to say you were retained as a lecturer for this reason because of the impact you made, and your brother or your dad seeing that this field is something that you're interested in and he has seen that you excel greatly in this. He wants to help you achieve your career goals. He wants to help you achieve your career goals. Okay? So when you answered in this manner, you've made it not about passion, or you've made it not about, when you answer in this manner, you've not just only stated that it's your sibling or your dad or your relative generally that are sponsoring you. You have to tell them why, and your reason has to be unique. Alright? So the next question you'll be asked is, what are your plans after school? Of course, they want you to return to your country to make an impact, but don't just say it casually. Their concern majorly is how the program will help you solve the problem that you've mentioned earlier on. Now, the best approach is, let's say you want to do a master's in data analysis. You can say something in the lines of, I'm hoping to return to my country and work with top retail companies to help them improve their decision making and operation management processes backed with data, because you've noticed a dash gap in, stuff like that. Talk about problems you're trying to solve in this area. Or if you want to study cybersecurity, for example, you can say you want to help fintech companies identify and curb cyber fraud in your country, because you've noticed that there's a gap and there's an increase in cyber crime in the fintech industry. Basically, the key or the trick is to impress them with your response. Alright? Now, the last question you'll be asked is why you chose to study in the US. Why didn't you study in the UK? Why didn't you study in Finland? Why didn't you study in Paris? Why didn't you study in your home country even? Now, don't undermine your country or any other country whatsoever in front of the interviewer. And is the oldest trick in the is the oldest interview rule anyways, even in job interviews. In job interviews, when you're asked why do you want to leave your current company or your current employer, you cannot trash talk your current employer, no matter how terrible they may be. You cannot undermine your employer either during the interview. So if you do that, you can be assured that you're not getting that job. So what do you say instead? Go ahead and tell them how you are interested in the facilities the school you apply to has to offer. You can name one or two of them, like maybe the equipment, like just do your research and look into facilities that they offer that you know that your home country doesn't offer that opportunity. You can also tell them how you get to actually practice during your research, which will give you the exposure that you need to excel in your field or in that program, and apply the knowledge that you get from that practice in your country. You can also mention the opportunity to meet professors you would like to work with. You can also go ahead and mention like one or two popular professors in that field. Basically, what I'm saying is focus your reason on the school and your studies rather than the country itself. Alright? So these are the 5 questions you'll be asked during your US visa interview, and I hope these tips help you answer your interview questions right. If you have questions, go ahead and ask in the comments. Maybe I have missed 1 or 2 things that I'm supposed to say. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. Ensure to share this video to someone who needs it, and if you're a subscriber, let's meet again in the next video.